So it didn't take long. We're getting some very interesting news about what's happening, what happened behind the scenes at Xbox. Obviously, it's a weird situation because you look at like Reggie Fils-Aimé, he announced that he was retiring, had like a couple months, and then retired. Even Jim Ryan for PlayStation, same deal. Phil Spencer is like, I'm retiring, and then 2 days later he's gone. So there's clearly stuff going on there, and now we have a bit of an idea, a better idea of what's happening, and this is thanks to some stuff that was leaked out to The Verge on the leadership changes. So, I want to reiterate that I don't think this takes away anything or any of the blame from Phil Spencer. I mean, Phil Spencer's the CEO of Xbox, sat on the board, so the fact that he allowed this stuff to go along really is on him too. But anyway, according to this, Xbox Anywhere was Sarah Bond's plan. This is an Xbox ad, was her idea, and actually offended many internally. Writing was on the wall for Sarah and Phil to leave. People internally are relieved now that Sarah Bond is gone. And listen, here's the thing. People that are saying, give this Sharma woman a chance or whatever, even though she has no gaming cred, no gaming background. Sarah Bond was the same way. No gaming cred, no background. She doesn't, if you don't understand what makes gaming, right, or what the fans want, I mean, maybe she'll listen. Maybe that's a good thing, I guess, but it's just so weird to me that this has happened and we kind of have this out now. So Xbox fans have been anticipating the retirement of Phil Spencer for years. Most didn't expect that President Sarah Bond would leave too. For many outside the company, Bond seemed like Phil's natural successor. CEO Satya Nadella and Microsoft CFO Amy Hood clearly didn't agree. Instead of picking Bond for the role, Microsoft promoted Asha Sharma, a former Microsoft AI executive, to the top. The decision to overlook Bond might have surprised many fans, but for more than a dozen current and former employees that he's spoken to, it's felt inevitable for recent months. Phil Spencer, Microsoft's long-term Xbox chief, made the decision to resign from Microsoft last year, after a tough few years for Xbox. The giant Activision Blizzard acquisition had dragged on for far longer than Microsoft has anticipated, and the need to grow the business saw Microsoft walk away from Xbox exclusive games in favor of a multi-platform strategy. Microsoft has also been trying to reinvent the Xbox brand beyond the console, with mixed results. Spencer's decisions led to months of careful, successful planning. It was announced to the world last week, but it was supposed to be today. Microsoft was forced to announce early because it started to leak, and IGN was planning to run a story, according to sources familiar with the situation. That kicked off a day of chaos where teams inside Xbox were hearing the news first through reporters and news outlets instead of via internal memos. The team running Sarah Bond's social media accounts were unprepared, and a LinkedIn post inviting people to provide feedback about Xbox accessibility features went live just before her departure was announced. It sat there for hours until Bond's team eventually posted her own memo. Microsoft executives shared 4 memos with Xbox teams on Friday, but only Phil Spencer mentioned Bond. Satya Nadella, Microsoft's gaming EVP Matt Booty, and new Microsoft gaming CEO Asha Sharma all had kind words for Spencer, but no mention of Bond. Even Bond's own memo to her teams didn't arrive until hours after the announcement and wasn't part of Microsoft's blog. Some Xbox employees that he's been speaking with saw the writing on the wall for Bond last year. She was promoted to Xbox president in October 2023, just days after Microsoft finalized a deal to acquire Activision Blizzard. Bond had been crucial in getting the deal over the line with regulators and slowly started to become the face of Xbox as Spencer took on the complicated duties of integrating a huge new business into Microsoft gaming. 6 months after Bond's promotion, Xbox executive Kareem Chowdhury, who reported directly to Bond, departed Microsoft and triggered another shakeup of teams inside of Xbox. Chowdhury was key to Xbox's backwards compatibility support and helped bring Xbox Cloud Gaming to life in 2019. Just weeks after Chowdhury departed, former Xbox Chief Marketing Officer Jarrett West also left Microsoft in 2024. That meant that Xbox marketing team was now reporting directly to Bond. A month later, Microsoft delivered a marketing campaign that signaled people don't need to buy an Xbox to game with Xbox anymore. The message was that you don't need an Xbox to play Xbox because games were available through the cloud, gaming on TVs. This was all part of the Xbox Everywhere strategy that Bond had been pursuing, a vision to move the Xbox brand beyond its roots in console hardware. Months later, the This Is an Xbox campaign launched, with commercials that positioned a phone or tablet as an Xbox instead of a console. It was a confusing campaign, and he's told it offended many Xbox employees internally. Quote, "This Is an Xbox" also debuted months after Bond appeared on stage at Bloomberg's Technology Summit and announced an Xbox mobile gaming store that was supposed to launch in July of 2024. It still doesn't exist almost 2 years later. Although attempts to redefine Xbox were clearly tied to the mobile store efforts, Microsoft still went ahead with This Is an Xbox after the store was delayed. The pivot away from console led by Bond under Spencer's direction hadn't gone well for Xbox. Microsoft Xbox hardware revenue has declined for 3 financial years in a row, and it looks like those declining revenues are going to continue throughout this year. Most of the current and former Xbox employees that he's spoken to in recent days are relieved that Bond is leaving Microsoft. Heard from multiple sources that Bond has been tough to work with and built a team structure that meant if you didn't follow the vision or question it, you were out. Most have praised her ability to strike partnerships with companies and developers, writing in 2024 that Bond had staked her career reputation on the idea of Xbox being everywhere across multiple platforms and devices. That also involved carefully managing her image both internally and externally, making her appear to be a gamer like Phil Spencer. In reality, she wasn't. Understand that Bond's strategy had been failing internally and has been questioned multiple times. So this is huge stuff right here, people. I mean, insane if you think about it. It's been failing internally and been questioned multiple times. Bond has tried to push mobile and cloud over console to reach potentially millions more console or Xbox customers, but the result has been a classic case of chasing tomorrow's customers by neglecting today's. Phil Spencer's retirement had seemed inevitable to Xbox employees, particularly over the last year. In February of last year, Spencer took a long vacation and some teams were told that they had to wait weeks for sign-off on some key changes. Shortly after this vacation, rumors started culminating inside Microsoft that Spencer was getting ready to retire. Microsoft was eventually forced to deny the rumors in July, claiming Spencer wouldn't be retiring anytime soon. With Spencer's retirement official, Microsoft is hitting the reset button on Bond's strategy instead of embracing it further. Microsoft Gaming CEO Asha Sharma is now promising the return of Xbox in clear messaging to employees, and the strategy over the past few years has not been working. "I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place." Xbox employees I've been speaking to have been concerned about the Sharma's appointment, particularly because of her previous role as an AI executive. There's also concern about her lack of industry experience in entertainment and gaming. Sharma has been clear she's not a gamer and has spent the weekend responding to people on X and even taking game recommendations. Some Xbox employees worry she'll force AI into everything Xbox does, but Sharma was clearly ready for that reaction. As monetization and AI evolve and influence the future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Well, I mean, saying it is one thing, doing it is the other. The other concern is that she's been appointed by Nadella as some kind of executioner of Xbox consoles. Her memo doesn't suggest that, and Microsoft could have easily appointed Matt Booty into that kind of role to push game publishing ahead of Xbox console. I get the impression from sources that Microsoft wants a turnaround and is worried about losing Xbox as one of its only remaining successful consumer brands. Those who know Sharma better describe her as enthusiastic, willing to learn, and very capable of getting teams to execute on a clear vision rather than coming in as a product executioner. She also has a history of Instacart and Meta, of overseeing platform launches and getting people to use products, the type of her user acquisition that Xbox has failed in recent years. Sharma's non-gaming credentials don't mean she can't do a good job at Xbox, but it'll be a tough gig to step into the shoes of Phil Spencer, who's widely respected inside and outside of Microsoft. He'll be remembered for the impact he had in turning Xbox around more than a decade ago. Xbox could have easily died after the Xbox One disaster, but Spencer made transformative decisions that, did some good anyway. A little bit of good, a little bit of bad. Xbox led the way in consumer-friendly decisions, some of the way or whatever, but under Spencer's watch, Game Pass also forced competitors to offer similar subscription service. He's also departing at a time when Series X and S generation has failed to put a dent in Sony's PlayStation sales during a period of turmoil in the gaming industry, and with the Xbox layoffs and studio closures have plagued the Xbox divisions. after the Activision acquisition. And there are big questions about Microsoft's gaming acquisition, the side effects of Game Pass, and the future of the Xbox console itself. Spencer won't be there to answer it anymore. Sharma has an opportunity to define the next decade plus of Xbox, so we'll have to see what she does. But again, I still have to kind of question some of this stuff. Like, Phil is still not getting off the hook in as far as I'm concerned, but it is interesting to know that, you know, a lot of this bad ideas were Sarah Bond's idea, and she staked her reputation on it, and now she's gone. You know, it just kind of is what it is. You could kind of tell she maybe wasn't liked very much, but everybody was suggesting that, you know, Satya Nadella was making these decisions. Like, why would somebody below Phil Spencer be making these decisions? I don't know. It's crazy. What do you guys think? Let me know. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.